I can't believe it! I looked over our videos and I found that we haven't yet done a hands-on review for one of the most popular masks in the world, ResMed's AirFit P10. It's enough to keep me up at night. Well, I decided to change that by getting my hands on one, trying it out, and telling you what I think. It's a simple, tried and tested formula that works well, a bit like the P10. Ruben from RespShop here again, folks, with another honest review of the equipment that we rely on every day. Our advice comes from helping the CPAP community get the best out of their CPAP therapy since 2008. We share that advice on YouTube and our website, but also on Facebook and Instagram, so check us out over there as well. Now, if you're not familiar with the P10, it looks like this. It's a nasal pillow mask with a minimal design, and it comes with 3 cushion sizes: small, medium, and large. If you want to try this mask, you should be aware that what you purchase depends on whether you intend to use it with the ResMed Air Mini or with another machine. The standard model works with every CPAP machine except an Air Mini. If you plan to use the P10 with an Air Mini, then you need to get the P10 setup pack option or buy the Air Mini tubing connector adapter. If you get the Air Mini tubing connector adapter, then you won't be able to use the Humidex system that humidifies the air that you breathe on the Air Mini. And if you get the Air Mini setup pack version of the mask, then the tubing it comes with will only fit an Air Mini. Bottom line, if you haven't yet bought your P10 and you plan to use it on an Air Mini, get the P10 setup pack. Otherwise, purchase the mask by itself. Links to both of these options are in the description below. Okay, so the P10 is a nasal pillow mask, which means that there are 2 pillows on the mask cushion that go into your nostrils and deliver the pressurized air to your airway. Nasal pillow masks take getting used to if you haven't had one before, as the pillows can rub on the inside of your nostrils and can be painful. But with continued use, over time, your nostrils will actually harden, and you can then enjoy the benefits of using this style of mask without the discomfort. Nasal pillow masks provide a great seal with minimal leaks and have a lightweight design, which makes things more comfortable. Obviously, there's no cover for your mouth when using a nasal pillow mask, so this style only works for those who naturally breathe through their nose while they're asleep, or for those who have learned to do that by discipline with the help of accessories like chin straps. The first thing you'll notice is that the P10 is extremely small and light. It's not quite the smallest and lightest mask available now. That prize goes to the Fisher & Paykel Micro, or maybe the Bleep Eclipse, depending on how you measure these things. But it is very close in size and weight to the Micro, officially weighing 1.55 ounces or 44 grams. I got pretty close to that when I weighed it. As you may know, I always recommend using the smallest and lightest mask that you can, as it makes the whole experience of CPAP more comfortable, which can greatly increase the time that you use it, which then makes your therapy more effective. So the P10 is a great mask to try if you're just starting out on your CPAP journey, or if you use a more bulky mask and you want to downsize. In either case, if you haven't used a nasal pillow mask before, then I'd recommend using the P10 alongside another mask that has a larger cushion and swapping them out every night while your nostrils harden. Then, when they have, you can switch to the P10 full-time and enjoy all the benefits of using a lightweight mask with a great seal. Now, for those that have been using CPAP for a long time, you might be unaware of a small change that ResMed made to the mask a while back. If the last time you looked at it was a few years ago, you may have discovered that the headgear quickly became loose as the elastic stretched after use and needed to be regularly replaced, which frustrated a lot of people. Well, ResMed listened, and they changed the headgear by adding this buckle to the side, which allows you to tighten the headgear and remove the slack when the elastic does get loose. Now, a buckle isn't the greatest way to adjust headgear, I'll admit, as it can be a bit fiddly and it means that cleaning takes more time and care, but it's better than having to replace the whole headgear, so I'm putting this down as an improvement over the last version. And it might mean that it's worth looking at again for long-time CPAPers that were previously put off. As you can see, the headgear is elastic with a single pair of stiffened fabric-covered arms that come from the mask and go under the eyes to a split elastic band. To put the mask on, place the elastic band at the back of the head, pull the mask forward over your nose, and snuggle those pillows into your nostrils. Then, separate the individual bands at the back to tighten the fit. For most people, one band will go over the top of the head and the other at the back around the ear line. With smaller headgear like this, red marks are less of a problem than those bigger, more stability-conscious options out there, so that's a plus. And the simplistic, lightweight design means that the mask is less noticeable when it's worn than other masks too, also a plus. This simple design uses elastic tension to keep the cushion in place. And as the cushion is a nasal pillow cushion, the seal is generally good. But the single elastic band isn't the greatest at keeping everything stable during lots of movement. So if you know that you move around a lot in the night, then you might find that the pillows get dislodged, especially if you tend to press into your pillow. And by pillow, I mean your big bed pillow, not the small ones that are sticking up your nose. But for more static sleepers, the Headgear is usually fine. So, it's small, it's light, it has a good seal, and it's simple. And it's impressive on the noise front too. Official levels are 21 decibels, which sounds about right to me as it's a pretty quiet mask. All of this means that it's no surprise that the P10 has been a long-time favorite for CPAP users. The air that comes from the front of the mask when you exhale flows through small holes in the plastic, and it's then diffused by foam. Now, this means that the noise and air coming from the front of the mask is minimal, which is great for those with bed partners that like to sleep close. Although it can mean exhaling is a little more difficult as you have to breathe out through a tighter mesh. Now, some of this extra difficulty can be compensated for if you have expiratory pressure relief options on your CPAP machine. And most people don't find that it's too much of an issue anyway. The tube at the front of the mask is a little outdated now. There's no quick release mechanism like some other masks have, and it doesn't swivel at the mask end. Again, for those that are active sleepers, this can mean that tension builds up on the tube as they toss and turn without that tension being released by a tube swivel. That said, there is some swivel possible at the other end of the tube where the mask tube joins the tubing coming from the CPAP machine. And this does help alleviate that just a little bit. So I've talked about all the good points here: size, weight, noise, air diffusion, generally good seal, and it allows for a good field of view as well. The not so great features are that the elastic can make the cushion less stable for active sleepers, the tubing can get twisted a bit as well, and exhaling can be a problem for some users, but not many, so don't base too many decisions on that. And of course, as it's a nasal pillow mask, it will be a no-go for mouth breathers, or those with a deviated septum, or those that simply can't stand having pillows going up their nostrils. Now, if most of this sounds great, but you're not sure about some of the potential problems, then you could consider the very similar Fisher & Paykel Nova Micro Mask. I actually did a comparison video of these two masks a few months ago. I'll leave a description to that below, or click the card above me. All in all, the P10 has been a favorite for many years now, and there's good reasons for why that's the case. If you're at the point of buying a mask, check out our range on RespShop.com, where you can buy any mask that you like under our 60-day guarantee, which allows you to return even used masks for a full store credit, which takes away the risk from your purchasing decision. P10 mask review finally done, and I can get back to not worrying about it and instead sleeping tight. Bye-bye for now.